You can have become a persistent willow tree. You can regenerate your life. We know it.
It works. Hello, this is another day. We're dressed the same, of course, like we warned. But we do have another subject that we want to talk about today that is been part of the comments that we've received, and we want to make certain that everybody is understanding fully and gaining from some of what we're sharing and what we're hearing from others.
So I have Jim standing up because I want you to see his physique. I'm showing him off. His belly comes straight down. You see this? Straight down. It used to come out like this. And I know you know what I'm talking about because the majority of people come out like this. He regenerated.
Totally. Well, totally. Not completely totally. You know, a lot of times we all get hung up on weight, and it's an easy measurement. One that we have started using is called the waist to hip ratio. And it gives waist to hip. And we explain that in other videos. We can go ahead and link that up here. We have a couple of them where we talk about it. It's a more accurate measurement of where you are health-wise. And weighing too much, weighing too little, those can be issues. But if your waist to hip ratio is off, that's the key. And that's the one you want to strive to get right. That goes beyond whether or not you have too much fat, but it also has to do with how in shape you are.
So why is this so important around here? Because it intertwines around your organs, and that's where it's deadly.
In other videos, we call this the insulin meter.
Right.
The larger it is, the more problems you have. The smaller it is, the better you're doing on controlling your nutrition and your habits.
All right, you can sit down now.
Okay.
So today's video is about regeneration. I'm going to...
You know, we recognize that's a word that's getting used a lot for agriculture and for people's health and a lot of other places. And it's still in its infancy of being defined and understood by everyone. So we're using it loosely. Hopefully, as you listen to us, you'll have a better idea of what we're talking about and how it applies to you.
I am in so much better shape now than I was in my 30s. However, in the last month or so, with all this moving and stuff, where we haven't made the opportunity of exercising every single day, when I bend down right now, I hurt. And I haven't hurt for a long time. So I am going to regenerate my body by exercising every day. We want you to understand that your body can heal by the way you take care of it. We understand that if you have a leg amputated or an arm amputated, or if you have certain illnesses that are permanent, that you have to live with those illnesses. But there are ways to do that. And then there are illnesses that you have that can be reversed. So, one of the things we're going to show you right now is a video clip that doesn't have words to it except the ones you're going to read. This is something that I made that goes along from the book that I wrote, Voices from My Heart, and it's available at Amazon.
That was an advertisement.
That was an advertisement. I'm proud of my book.
Yes, you should be.
My book is written to and about seniors. So it's really great in that way. But this particular story is talked about in this book, and I took it and put it to music. This particular poem, my grandmother wrote, and I found it in her book of poetry and put it in. And it shows how when we have something happen to us that is devastating in our life, that we can still pick ourselves up and go on adapting ourselves in whatever it is that has made us a problem. I'm going to just give a very quick example. This one is in my book. We had a dear friend at our independent living community who had a stroke 10 years before. He was a phenomenal pool player and very, very active. When we met him, he had one leg that drug behind and one arm that was not usable. And he still could beat anybody with pool, and he still played cards. He had an apparatus that he made that would hold his cards. He had an apparatus he made that would help him be able to play pool. He didn't quit. He didn't say, oh well, that's my former life, this is my life now, I'm doomed. He didn't do that, and that's what this video clip is about.
We're not talking about miracles. Sometimes they may seem like it. When I think of where I was 10 years ago, health-wise, and where I was headed, and I look at others who have continued on the same path I was on, and where they are now, it is a miracle
that I am
where I am. But it's simple.
It's a miracle that was assisted by your wisdom of changing.
Yep.
That was profound.
It's simple, natural choices, lifestyle changes that are made that make the difference. And it's not reserved for a few who are lucky. It's not about being lucky. It's about making choices.
So if you completely take away the fake food in your life and replace it with real food, what difference is that going to make in your life? What difference has it made in your life?
Well, it makes it hard to shop at the grocery store.
It makes it horribly hard to shop. So much easier now than it was 9 years ago when we started.
Yeah.
So much easier now.
But you still have to really watch the...
This is what makes it the easiest. And we've had several people say to us, I'm in it by myself, my husband and my kids aren't.
So this next part of this video here, show this to your husbands, your spouse, your children, whoever it is.
Your wife, we've had both sides.
Yeah, whoever it is that doesn't feel a need to make changes, who is happy being sick. I mean, seriously, they
and we know them that are.
They're there.
They're just like, oh, this is my life, this is what it is, this is the way it's going to be.
I plead with you, do an experiment. Take on the practices that we're talking about, that your spouse is suggesting that you do. Spend the time. It's worth it. It will make a difference that you'll find phenomenal. It will alter your world in ways that you can't even imagine.
Rock your world.
It's very positive, it's very real, and it does happen. And it's worth it. And it doesn't take away. We're not telling you live our lifestyle or else. We're saying make the choices. See what it can do for you. Experiment with it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work for you. Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to work if you do it faithfully and you do it right. It will change the way you feel. When
we first started these videos at the very beginning of our 180-degree lifestyle change in 180 days, we did a exercise ditty and a nutrition ditty. And so go back and look at some of his exercises when he's talking about that. We will get to the point where we make them again.
And along those lines, I do have a question, survey question time here. Would you be interested in having I'm not going to say daily, a few times a week, once a week, I don't know how often, but live
or recorded,
it could be recorded
on our website.
I think live sounds cool. Anyway, a Jack LaLanne
yeah, because he has so much time. Come to reality.
Yeah, back to reality. A Jack LaLanne type of broadcast where we go through exercises and we...
Jack LaLanne's his hero.
He's my hero. I mean, if at 95 I can do the kinds of physical things he was doing at 95, I'm looking forward to that.
Anyway, let us know if you'd like to see some exercises that you could do with us. I think they do, because I've had several people say things. So.
Okay.
Anyway.
Even you work hard homesteaders, I'm telling you, you got to do more than just milking and lifting hay and digging in the garden. Those are great activities. They help you a lot. But I'm convinced that you need full body muscle building, all of that to be healthy. I've known too many folks who were homesteaders and eventually eventually their body started to have other kinds of problems. So where they may have been doing something very repetitively and it began to damage, whether it was their knees or their hips or some part of their body, and then they became debilitated. I'm suggesting that even those kinds of folks can, through...
Sorry. I'm back.
We let her play through. Even people who are doing those types of things, if they were to do a range of exercises and have all their muscles, all their joints strong and built up, then they'd be less likely when they're doing those harder, repetitive things to be injured by them. I'm convinced of that. So it's good for everybody.
Just a little plug here. This is the shirt that we will be wearing. He'll be wearing his own. It says Heartiness Approach, Sustainable Living in Place. This is the shirt and the color that we will be wearing at the Homesteading Conference of America. At Homesteading America.
So you can recognize us.
Homesteaders America. What? I don't know.
Put the link up here so they know what it is.
A link to the conference.
Yeah.
You're going to show me how to do that.
I'll teach you.
Okay. Anyway, you can become a persistent willow tree. You can regenerate your life. We know it.
It works.